Thank you, Ayo. So again, I used to be an engineer here, 14 years. Ariel only 10 years. Ariel or five? Forgot how many
About
years.
5 now, yeah.
5 years.
5.
Okay. So we'll help many people pass the license. Hopefully, we'll help you guys as well. Okay. And help us share. If you pass your license, help us share on Facebook. Facebook group. I'll always be Facebook. Okay. So go right to it. I want to waste your time or our time. I'm going to go over the first session today. Today's workshop is on annuities. Okay. So it's going to be a little bit longer for those of you who are just new who haven't taken this class yet. Today's going to be a little longer than the previous one. Okay. So we're going to go over annuities. Okay. So, some of this you might have seen on the workshop as well. As people are living longer, there's a great need for a long-term solution. Okay, so we offer annuities to our life insurance companies as a form of protection. Okay, so the opposite annuity and life insurance, they are insurance product that's sold by insurance company. Okay, so life insurance, every product has a purpose. The purpose of life insurance is in case I die too soon. Okay. The idea is life insurance is going to offset the losses due to your death. So it can provide you your family income. And the opposite side is annuity. Originally, it was sold so that in case you live too long, Betty, you have enough income for the rest of your life, right? So the idea is it is supposed to help you offset the risk of outliving your income. So it's in a reverse effect for life insurance. Okay, so in a way, insurance companies are good at risk management. So you buy life insurance to protect the risk of you dying too soon, and you buy annuity to protect the risk of you living too long. Okay, so that you don't run out of money ever. Okay, so let's understand annuities here. So essentially, historically, these products were designed. What you do is you put a lump sum of money, okay, in exchange for a series of payment. For example, you put 100,000 in, and you leave it there for a while, maybe 7 years, 10 years, depending on what the contract. Then you're going to get an annual income for the rest of your life. That's how annuity was designed. So how much you're going to get on a monthly basis is based on how much you put in and how much growth, okay, and also how long you're going to live, okay. So annuities type, there are many types, but in terms of contract period, there are two types on the test you want to know about. Number one is immediate. It's very simple. Immediate annuity is where you put 100,000 in, and within the first 12 months, you're going to take money out right away. Okay, hence the term immediate. And then another contract type is you're going to defer that money until after 1 year. So so you put in 100,000, Betty, and you don't take out the money right away. You're gonna wait until 1 year, 2 years, depending on the product. Or most people, but usually from my experience, 5 to 7 or 10 years. You defer that money for a long period of time, then you take it out for a longer period of times. Usually, the longer you defer it, the more you're gonna get. Okay. So in terms of funding annuity, you can put in one time. Okay, single premium. Or there are certain type called flexible premium, meaning you put it once and then over time you're going to put in more. Every year you might put in more or every other year, depend on you. So you can either put lump sum or you can do flexible premium. And then in terms of growth on this column here, remember earlier we were talking about how much you're going to get on the money based on going to be what interest you're going to get. So currently there are three types. Fixed. On the test, you're going to talk about what is a fixed annuity. Okay, you're going to get a fixed rate return, for example, similar to a CD, but this is in an insurance contract. Okay, you get fixed return for X amount of year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year. Okay, and then another way you can get interest or growth option in annuity, you're going to get based on the index. For example, let's say S&P 500, you're going to get you're going to credit the interest based on the return of the index, usually in the form of a floor and a cap. Okay. If you attend the insurance workshop, we have the IUL. It talk about a floor of 0 or 0.75 and then a cap of 13.25. And then the last type is going to be variable. I know that on this test going to be only on insurance and on index fixed product, but they do ask you about what variable. Okay, and it will talk about how you can sell a variable. You would need a security license. They on a test they might ask you those questions. Make sure that whenever you hear the word variable or separate account or mutual fund, you need a security license. And when an annuity is a variable annuity, the return will be based on the performance of the portfolio on investment. So every time when you hear the word investment or separate account, you write this in your note, is the answer going to be something related to variable, okay? Investments. And then the last column that you want to know the different type option is when you withdraw the money, okay, what are the options you get? You can get out a lump sum. For example, I put 100,000 and then 5 years later, it's going to be 150. I can choose to take out 150 all out. That's what they say about lump sum, okay? Or another way is you can annuitize it. So this is the original way annuity was created, that you put in 100K, in 10 years, you're going to start getting 5,000 a year for the rest of your life until you pass away. Okay. After you pass away, there's no more money. Okay. That's called annuitization. And the last but not least is some people can do the combination of both. They can get out a lump sum or they can annuitize. Okay. So these are the four things you want to be aware of when they ask the question on the annuities. So another key is annuitization is, remember I mentioned this is a traditional way of people getting payout, right? You convert a lump sum of money to get a regular payment. So here are the options they're going to ask on the test. The first option is lifetime payment. You're going to get the rest of your life until you pass away, okay? That is simple. Or another case is period certain. You're going to get only a certain 10-year period only, okay? And then the third type is you're going to get lifetime, but at least a certain period of time. Okay, life with period certain. And then last but not least is joint and survivor, meaning you can get an annuity that you and your spouse is the owner. You can get an amount, let's say a certain amount the rest of your life. And then when you pass away, your spouse can get the same amount for the rest of her life as well. Okay. So here's an example, just to clarify more lifetime. For example, this is a 60-year-old man. It's called straight life. Insurance company will agree to pay John a fixed amount of money as long as he lives. So you see here, at 60, you're going to get until you pass away. Okay. You get income for life, no survivorship. So the issue here, that's what you hear a lot online, how annuity is bad, is when you pass away, there's no more beneficiary. Because there's nothing left because you annuitizing this plan. Okay. And this type of plan will give you the most amount of income for an annuitant. Remember, there's four types we just talked about. Okay. And then when you select the period certain. So on a test, they will ask these different types. They usually ask which type will give you the most income, which type will give you the least income. And on the answer, on the test, they'll tell you to pick an option. Okay, so period certain here. For example, John chose 20 years period certain when they do the contract to withdraw the money. Okay, at 60, annuity does not pay out anymore. Even John lives past 80 years old. Okay, so that means you only guarantee 20 years. Only pay for the selected amount of years. For example, John started collecting at 60. He passed away at 70. So the next person, the beneficiary, can pull the money until 80. Okay. So the survivorship pays the beneficiary if annuitant dies during the period certain. So if John passed away at 75, they would continue to pay his beneficiary for the next 5 years. So this kind of plan is fixed for 20 years only. Okay. All right. So life with period certain. So earlier there was life. Now it's period certain. Now we have something called life with period certain. For example, company will pay John a fixed amount for the rest of his life with a guaranteed amount of 10 years. Okay, so example here, at 60, he's going to be guaranteed for at least 10 years. But in this case, if he were to live longer, So you see it, survivorship pays to the beneficiary if annuitant died during the period certain. If John passed away at 67, they would continue to pay to his beneficiary for the next 3 years. So the benefit about this plan is that if John were to live forever, he will collect more than 10 years. But in case he lived only less than 10 years, his beneficiary is going to get another 3 years. Okay. And then the last but not least is joint and survivor. Company will pay John and Sally a fixed amount. When one of them dies, then the survivor gets paid a reduced amount. Okay, earlier I said the same amount. So there are different type of annuity. In this case, on the test, they'll usually refer joint survivor as, so John will get 17 years, and after that, if he passes away, his spouse will get a smaller amount the rest of her life as well. Okay, so payment to 2 or more annuitants, payment continue to the survivor, often at a reduced amount. For example, maybe 50% or 75%. Okay, so I want to go back here. This 4 type. So from the left to right, on the left gonna be the client gonna get the most amount of money. Because why? They're taking more risk that if they pass away too early, there's nothing left to the beneficiary. But if they pick, so it go the most lifetime, and then going to be period certain, life with period certain, and joint survivor. So on a test, I guarantee you they'll ask you some of these questions. They'll say which option the client will get the most money. So they'll ask which option the client will get the least amount of money. Okay. All right. So we have some quick questions here. Answer here. True or false? Okay. And then you can start to put in the chat box or unmute yourself. Okay. How do I even see the chat box? I can't. Okay. Okay. There you go. Let's see. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So an annuity is designed to guarantee you income for life. Is it true or false?
True.
True, right? It's designed that way from the beginning. Okay, good, easy. Different types of annuities are based on their growth options.
True.
True. It's too easy. You guys all got it. Okay, and then you only have one option during annuitization or payout phase.
False.
And how many options are there?
2.
4.
3.
4, right?
4.
Remember,
Yes.
life?
4.
Right.
Pure certain?
4.
Pure certain with life, and then joint and survivor. Okay, but they won't ask you that question anyway. I can switch from lifetime payment to pure certain anytime.
False. Yeah, that's
Good.
false.
Yeah, so this is on the contract when the client picked the type, it's set that way. Okay, so false. Okay. So on the test, they'll ask about these type of plans. When you buy an annuity or the client buy an annuity, there's the difference between qualified versus non-qualified. Okay, so you see here on the left side here, for qualified annuity, they usually you refer to them as retirement accounts, IRA, SEP IRA, a Roth IRA. Okay, meaning not Roth IRA, but IRA. So something that you can defer tax. So usually pre-tax. So contribution limit. There is a contribution limit because you got to follow the IRS guideline. For example, you own a qualified annuity that's an IRA. The most you can put in right now for 50 and under is 7,000, right? If you over 50, you can do 8,000. And then you have to follow suitability, and you have to be taxed on the withdrawal in the future because you did not pay tax. Just like IRA, you get a tax deduction. That money grow in the future, you take out, you don't pay, you have to pay taxes on. You have to pay tax on the principal and also the gain, okay? So principal here is regarding the withdrawal. Let's say you put 7,000 in, that 7,000 become 10,000, so forth. And then that means you take out, you're going to pay tax on the whole 10,000, okay? The gain and the principal, because this money is pre-tax. And then you can create non-qualified annuity. It's something considered, we can refer to post-tax. I mean, after you pay tax, you can put to this annuity. So I mean, there's no contribution limit. So if someone have cash $1 million, they can put all into the annuity. There's no limit, okay? you have to follow suitability, and you're not taxed on your principal. You're not taxed on withdrawal, meaning your 100K after 10 years it become 200K. You take out the whole 200K, you only pay tax on the gains and not on the 100K. Okay, the only gain on the 100K gain, not the 100K principal. Okay, so that's the difference between non-qualified annuity versus qualified annuity. Okay, is that clear? Yes. We will have more question and answer. I think we have the cramp course on Sunday. We'll go through question and answer. So that's just some basic about annuity for you guys. So next we're gonna go straight to the the health, accident and health part. Okay. So the first one of the product we do is disability. On the test they'll ask about disability policy. Disability income, the primary function is income replacement in the event of longer injury, illness, and unable to return to work. So this is not the same thing as long-term care, because this could be short-term, right? You might hurt your hand, you can work, but you can still do other daily activity. So in this case, some people would buy a disability income insurance so that if they lose their job, if they cannot work, there's income coming in to replace that income for a short period of time. Okay, usually 1 year. Okay. So what are the different type of policy here? You can buy as an individual, it's called individual disability income, or as business owner when you have people who you rely on. You can buy a business overhead expense. You can buy a business disability buyout. You can buy a key person partner policy. You can buy group disability as well. Okay. Then we can go more in detail. Each of these taxation, you pay taxes either in the beginning or at the end of the benefit payout. Okay. So what are different type of individual disability policy here? It pays 1/2 or more of your income due to disability. Most state limit up to 80%. So even if you want to buy 100% of your income, for example, some people make 100K, you can probably only buy up to 80,000 worth. Okay. The benefit amount is the term when you're on the test is going to refer to the monthly disability benefit paid to the insured. Okay. And the indemnity benefit period is how long you'll be covered. Is it a year, 6 months, 3 months? And on the test, they will ask you, is this person going to be collecting 9 months versus 6 months? Which kind of premium which policy going to cost more? So of course, if someone going to buy to get cover for 100 days versus someone do 300 not 30 days, the 100 days going to cost more. Okay, the test is going to ask you that. They're going to ask which of this situation you're going to have the most. What's the highest premium or the lowest? And then there's elimination period where you have to take consideration in. Most policy, you don't collect the money right away. You have to wait 30 days, 60 days, or 90 days until you can get the disability benefit coming in. Okay, so it is the waiting period before payment. So usually the shorter the period, the higher the premium. For example, if you want to get your benefit in 30 days, it's going to cost more. Okay, so you want to remember these this part, because on the test they ask, this client has an elimination period. This policy is 30 days with 90 days coverage, or they're going to ask a question. You're going to wait. Elimination is 60 days, and then they're going to cover for 6 months. Which one going to be more or less? Okay, and then probation period is the number of days from issue date before illness is covered. So what that means is that if you're already in, maybe you have some health issue and you buy the disability insurance, you don't just get it in like 10 days. Most of these company will make sure that you have to wait 10 to 30 days to even qualify. For example, if you get an accident after 10 days and your the probation period is 30 days, so they have the right not to pay out the disability insurance. So when people buy these product contract, you have to remember all that. Okay, and it only applies to illness. Okay, so these are very important. I think on the test they'll ask question about benefit period and elimination period, and then what will cost more, what will cost less. They will order it, and you pick the right answer based on the question. Okay, So what is the main purpose of disability policy? It is to, what is the answer? Okay. Is it to pay for chronic illness? Is it to pay out of pocket? Is it to help pay co-insurance or replace income?
To replace income.
Replace income.
Oh, so easy. You guys all got it. You're all going to ace the test. Yeah. Replace income. Correct. And everything else doesn't make sense. Right? Chronic illness is more like long-term care and all this stuff doesn't make sense. Okay. Easy question. All right. Overhead expense. Business overhead expense is purchased by usually the business owner to cover overhead expense during his or disability. Okay. For example, if you are a doctor, and then if you cannot work, usually you want to buy overhead expense, which cover the rent, the salary to your employees, and all the loan. Okay, it typically has shorter waiting period and can be purchased as a standalone policy or rider to an owner's individual plan. Okay, business overhead expense. Okay, so on the test they'll ask what are the different type of business expense for disability, and you have to eliminate the wrong one. Okay. So remember these terms. Business overhead expense is to cover the expenses that are going to cost the company, the business. Okay, very simple. The owner of company X, here's a question for you. Owner of company X purchased a business overhead expense policy. He suffered a disability and submits a claim. What is most likely to occur? He will receive monthly benefit of up to 80% of his income. His building rent, employee salary, business loan, and other business obligation will be paid. He receive a principal sum tax-free, or claim will be denied.
B.
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 His building rent.
Yeah, so
employee
simple. You guys
salary.
can ready to ace the test.
Is
Business
D.
expense, it has to be only. So on the test, they'll ask these things. You have to read it carefully, okay? Rent, salaries, business loan, and other obligation, not all the other stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, these are the main things for business overhead, okay? All right. Business disability buyout is similar to the concept of life insurance buy and sell agreement, except cross-purchase trigger the buyout with one of the owner being disabled. For example, if I'm going to partner with Ariel here, if I get disabled, how do we maintain the business, right? So normally we would buy a business disability buyout so that it will pay me and then Ariel take over the company, okay? So you can use it as a partner to partner or a company to company you buy out. Okay. All incorrect benefits payable under entity plan disability. Okay. Buyout agreement except, okay, it pays direct to the employee, it pays in installment for 5 years. So remember the word except, okay, it pays the CEO based on their salary, it pays the corporation. So which one is correct? And so there's 3 that's incorrect. Business disability buyout.
D.
I think it's D.
D? Yeah.
E.
D is correct, right? Because this is for the company. It's not going to pay for employee because we're not buying out, okay? So none of these is correct. It pays to the corporation. Good. All right. Key person is to cover the income revenue loss if a key person can no longer work to disability. For example, if I have a doctor office and my top guy, he's the main doctor, he get disabled, how can I run my business? How do I get money to hire another guy, right? So in this case, I would buy a key person disability insurance for that employee, okay, so that it could pay me if something will happen to that guy. So I maybe can go hire another doctor, okay? Very simple here. I'll go quick. Policy question. Hook Eye Vision employed and insured Dr. X with a key person policy. Dr. X would like to add his wife as a beneficiary. What are his options? He just need to talk to the CEO and request to add his wife. He can directly call the insurance company and add his wife. Nothing. He has no right under the key person policy. He needs to fill out a new beneficiary form to add his wife.
C.
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 C is in cat.
All right, good. Very simple, right? Because remember, this is key person insurance. It's for insurance bought for the key person for the company. So other stuff is not related. Okay. All right. Group disability is disability plans offered and often covered by the employer. Okay. So I think many companies do this right now. They do cover group disability insurance for all employees. Okay. And usually paid by the employer. So that's very simple. There's no question. I think on the test, they will ask something like that, usually for the whole company. It cover everybody. Okay. Accidental death and dismemberment, AD&D. On the test, they probably ask about this. AD&D pays benefit in case of accidental death or to dismemberment. Okay. Meaning you have to either die in an accident for them to pay out. So this is a type of life insurance plan that you can hear on the radio. That's very cheap, but maybe you might hear on the radio, pay $10, get $1 million coverage, but they might sell as life insurance. But in the actual contract, it's called AD&D. Usually, you either have to die in an accident or you lose 2 part of your limbs. Okay, so accident and death here, you have to die with a certain period of time, right? You can I have a car accident and I go to the hospital and I die 6 months later. That might not cover. Okay, so just remember these terms. I think you have to memorize this because it's hard to understand. Capital sum, when you hear that, it will say you pay 50% of the principal due to one dismemberment. Okay, so you lose one hand, you only get 50%. Okay, so make sure you get an accident, you lose 2 hands or 1 hand and a leg, and they paid 100% due to the accidental death. Okay, illness or suicide not covered for all these plans. They're not. So it's very rare. So normally, for me personally, I have never sold a plan with this, but it's something you just need to know on the test because you don't get much for it. Okay. So on the test, they'll ask, let me see here. From the date of the injury, usually you only qualify within 90 days, Joaquin, meaning if you get an accident and you die in the day 91, they will not cover. You have to die within that 30 days, 90 days of having that accident, right? So that's on the contract. So that's why there's not a lot of value for these kind of plans, but you just need to know. So you pass away before, then it's considered. But if you pass away, it's considered the possible pay. Okay. If you pass away after, then it's not considered. So that's why these are so cheap. But you just need to know this on the test. Okay. We probably would never ever sell these plans, but something we need to know to pass a license. Okay. Okay, question. M died in a car accident. His family submitted a claim under his ADD policy. What is the benefit to be paid? Capital sum, benefit amount, principal sum, disability.
Principal sum.
Principal sum.
D.
100%, right? Yes. Okay, good. Easy. And you all got this. So simple. All right. Medical expense insurance. Basic medical expense. I think on this, the test, not that many questions on this, but there'll be a few, maybe 5. I don't know. A policy provides first dollar benefit for specified health care. All right. Major medical expense. A policy that provides broad coverage and benefit, but has deductible and co-insurance. Okay. And then comprehensive medical expense. So you add the basic with the major, it becomes comprehensive. It's a combined plan. Of course, if you buy these, one will be the most expensive. Okay. Deductible. The amount you pay before the insurance plan begins to pay. Okay, that's called deductible. Co-insurance. After deductible, your share the cost of the healthcare services usually calculate as a percentage. So make sure you know the difference between deductible and co-insurance for the test. So deductible is before the plan begin, okay? And then during the process, you have to pay 10%, 20%, depending on your plan, okay? The hospital pay daily rate is the actual charge of the whole day of service, okay? Surgical expense paid based on schedule of various surgical procedure types. So these are just terms you just need to know. Okay. Stop loss limit. The most you have to pay out of pocket. So a lot of these plans maybe the out of pocket might be 10,000, 5,000. So once you already paid that 5,000, the total all the co-insurance deductible, you don't have to pay anymore. Okay. So how to collect deductible and co-insurance. So you have a claim with a total of $20,000. Okay. This is an example for you to visualize. How much of this claim will you need to pay out of pocket if your policy has 3,000 deductible, 80/20 co-insurance, and a stop loss of 15,000 a year? Okay. Here's the math. Claim is 20, deductible 3, co-insurance 20%. Okay. So first you take the deductible first. So now 20,000 minus 3,000 is 17,000. Okay. And then after that, you apply the 20/80 rule, which is 20% of your co-insurance. Now your total co-insurance is 3,400. Okay. And 3,000 plus 34 is 6,400. This is how much you can cap. So on a test, they'll ask you, they'll give you example like exactly like this. Then they want you to do some math. Okay. So this is how much your total out of pocket is for this expense. So on a test, they'll definitely ask what is total amount of pocket, or they'll ask what is the deductible amount, or what is co-insurance amount. So you have to do some basic math to get the right answer. Okay. Stop loss. Once the deductible is paid and out of pocket, the amount of co-insurance met, everything will be covered 100%. So in this case, the stop loss 15,000. So the client still have a long way to go. Okay. So here's another example what you might see in the test. They'll probably give you this whole part, and then you have to figure out what the out of pocket is. Okay, so here, let's go through it together. Jack makes a claim for his appendectomy of 30,000 and 2 days of hospitalization. Okay, on January 16th. So he has the basic plan. The hospital stay is $200 a day. So the surgery was $1K. The physician was visit was 25, 6 times a year. So on the basic plan here, if the total bill is 30, okay, if he has just the basic plan. So on the test they'll ask, okay, based on the basic plan, how much they're gonna pay? And the major plan or the comprehensive. So hospitalization 400, basic surgery is 1,000, okay, so 25 here. The policy pay you 1,425. So you add all this, right? 400, 1,025, 1,400. Out of pocket cost is 30,000. Okay. So just read to this, and then we have a question, and you can use this to answer the question. And then major, you then deductible is 1,000. The co-insurance is 20% is 5,800. Okay. So the insurance pay 23. So out of pocket is 6,800. And then you combine both of these. The major medical is 68 here, minus the basic plan, right? So the out of pocket is 53.73. So this is very confusing. Okay, let's get the answer. So this is for scenario 1. Okay. So I think on the test they'll ask what's out of pocket. In this case, because the maximum, see here, 10,000. Because you have the basic plan, everything you cover, right? Out of pocket cost is 10,000. Okay, on this one, because after the bill you only pay 20%. Did I skip this part? Sorry. But here, it's 30,000 out of pocket because the basic plan doesn't cover much, right? You don't have the 20%. With the major, you only pay 20% with deductible. That's why you can calculate here 6,800. So on the test, when they ask about major medical receipt, how much it will be out of pocket. So you do the math here, okay? And the comprehensive, you get to subtract the base plan. So you subtract over here, 1,425. Now that's 53.75. Okay. So when you do a few practice tests, I think you can easier to understand. Okay. So here's another plan. Jack goes back from minor surgery of 10,000 and 2 days of hospitalization. Okay. Same thing here. Now in this case, because he already met the deductibles and the deductible is 0, 80/20, stop loss is 20,000. So the basic plan again, if you have is 10,000, right? And then here, because he paid deductible already, now he only paid 20%. So you see here, deductible over here, you'd be clear. Remember this to do the math. Deductible is 0, so that's why you only pay 20% of co-insurance, so which is only 2,000. And now you take this 2,000, you subtract that 1,425, and out of pocket is 575. So over time, because he go multiple time, he pay lower out of pocket. Okay, so HMO, Health Maintenance Organization. So on the test, they'll ask all the different type of plans you will have to know. Okay, HMO is here. You have a primary care physician who is a gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper can refer you to specialists. So, and then the specialist can give you, and also in HMO it's like Kaiser. You only in a just within the Kaiser network. Okay, so this is usually the cheapest part, right? Only in certain area. Okay, and then there's another type called point of service plan. The difference here is that you can go out of network specialist. Earlier, HMO, you only within Kaiser, for example. Here, you can go, you have to go through a network specialist, but also you can get access to out of network specialist. Okay, so both of them have a primary care physician who is a gatekeeper can do this. And then the more popular one that most people have, myself included, is called PPO. Okay, in network, but however, you don't need a referral. You go directly to go out of network. So typically, these plans are more expensive. HMO is the cheapest. Okay, PPO, Preferred Provider Organization. Okay, the idea why you pay more is you have more freedom of choice. The test they may ask about PPO is that you have more option, more choices. Okay. So here, just to give you the summary over here, see lower premium, more flexibility. So as you pay more, you have more flexibility. That's how life you get what you pay for. So HMO, you need a referral to a specialist. PPOS, you need a referral to a specialist, but our network specialist. Okay, and on the PPO, you can actually go straight to the specialist as well. Okay, so that's why it costs more money to have this kind of plan. Okay. Question for all of you. H has a PPO and has a terrible migraine. H decided to go straight to an out-of-network specialist that was recommended by a friend. Which is most likely to occur? H will have to pay extra premium to cover at least half of the claim. H PPO will cover the claim but will have higher out-of-pocket costs. H claim will be denied. Or H asks a referral from his fees to make sure the claim is paid.
It's B. B as in boy.
B.
B as in boy. You're right. You guys take this class already? We will cover the claim, but we have higher pocket. So when you hear about higher, yeah. All right. Good. Tax saving plans. So when many of us who work for a company, when we enroll for health insurance, you probably have these different options out there available for you. Okay, so the first popular one is called flexible spending account. It's usually owned by the employer, but you as an employee will fund to it. However, with this plan, there's no portability. What that means is that after you don't use it, you have extra. The most you can roll over is $610. So let's say this year you put in $2,000, and then you forgot you didn't use it. You have $1,000 left. You only can roll over 610, so you lose it $390. Okay, so that's why people have to prepare correctly for these FSA plans. And then another one is called HRA, Health Reimbursement Arrangement. So this is owned by the employer, but also funded by employers. So some company have more money, they give to the employer this money for healthcare stuff. Okay. Yes, if plans allow, most plans allow you to move that money from year over year because this is the employer money. Okay. However, when you leave the company, you don't get to bring that money with you. Okay. So the best one right now out there is called health saving account. Okay. It's owned by the employee. The employee open it. They can fund it. The employee can put into it, but you can roll that money forever. And then you can move it to another company. After you leave that company, you go for there are different investment company that can invest that money for you. Okay, HSA have investment option. Okay, so typically this is only available for high deductible plan. Okay, so in the exam you might be asked some of these questions. Just remember these terms: FSA, HRA, and SSA. So FSA is the employer funded. Okay, the owner opened the account. Okay, owned by the employer, and the employee funded, and the HRA is employee and do both. Okay, own it and fund it. And HSA, the employee own it, but then the employee and the owner can put in money. Okay, all right. So we talk about group disability. Now is group insurance. Okay, on the test they'll probably ask about who will qualify and all that. One master policy that employers purchase to provide medical coverage. Okay, this is still group health insurance. We on the health insurance. Type of group insurance on the test, they will definitely ask what are the types out there, and then you have to identify which one is not. Okay, so the typical type out there are called non-contributory plans. Previous covered 100% for all members. Okay, contributory plan or 75% must agree to participate. So meaning if the employee open these plans, 75% have to participate or else it's not valid. Okay. And then another plan is Cobra, available to employee with 20 or more employees. So on the test, make sure you understand the difference between these two plans. Non-contributory and contributory. When you hear the word contributory, meaning you are required to contribute 75%. Okay, just so that you remember. Non-contributory automatically cover everybody anyway. Okay, so why? Employee do these might be cheaper, right? Because if they do these non-contributory plan, they have to pay more because the employee is the one putting money in. Okay, so that's why they cover all members. Okay, true or false? Premiums are subsidized by the employer for these group insurance plans.
True.
True, yes. False. You go back to here. The cover, premium is covered 100% for all members. I think that's wrong, right, Ariel?
Premiums are
Premiums
subsidized by the employers.
I think it's correct because it's just
Yeah,
a
true.
group.
This is probably true. Yeah.
Oh, so I was right.
Yeah, I think Sabrina, you're right, but I'll double check with you guys. Non-contributory plan covers 100% of its premium for all members equally.
True.
Yeah, this is definitely true. Sorry. And then to form a contributory plan, 75 of the group must agree to participate.
True.
True. Definitely on the test, I guarantee you they'll ask this. So you make sure you know the difference, okay? Corporate applies to employers with less than 20 employees.
False.
False. Remember, it has to be more than 20 employees. Okay. All right. I think this is the last topic. Actually, I have to switch to Ariel now, okay? Because I have to run to another workshop to open that on the other side. With that, I appreciate everybody for listening in, and then Ariel take over from here, okay? I'll be in the background while she does her training. Thank you, Ariel.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All righty.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good info.
So while we're switching gears, how's everyone doing so far? We're still okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Good? Okay. So
Good,
while
good.
getting our slides pulled up, that's doing a little stretch. I know it's gonna, we still have a couple more slides to go. The second half of a little bit on the health insurance part, and then we're gonna go a little bit into Medicare plans as well. So we can get up, stretch if you need to run for a quick bathroom break, water break.
Yes,
It'll be
please.
your
I'm making
time.
a bathroom break.
Yes, while I
Thank
get
you,
my
sir.
slides up, this will be your chance while I pull everything up. Alrighty. So, okay. And then,
കുളിക്കട്ടെ നിമിഷക്കുട്ടി കുളിക്കട്ടെ കുളിക്കാം
make sure I can see you guys. And here's my chat. You can be right here. All right, I will. Okay. Let me know. Are we all back? Yes, yes.
You.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So we are back to now long-term care. Okay. So next part is on long-term care, which is, okay, let me put you guys on the side for a little bit so I can see the slides. Okay. So long-term care insurance covers 3 different levels of care. So we're just doing a little matching here, okay? So skilled nursing facilities, the 24-hour skilled medical personnel that can cover, okay? Intermediate is the intermittent skilled care facilities. And then we also have custodial care that assisted with the 6 different daily living activities, okay? So what the different types of the benefit amounts, okay, the total benefit amounts that will pay after the claim. We also have benefit riders that you can add usually to your the life insurance policy. Okay, so that's also something that it will be covered on the life side of the licensing prep as well on the life insurance part. Okay. And then also you have service day versus calendar days. That's also something that's going to get tested on the exam. So you have calendar days, that's the 365 days versus service days that is very specific to when you start the claim, okay? And also you are subject to the elimination period, meaning that the pays that starts ahead the 30 days, okay, and can be indemnity based on the actual charge or your benefit amount, the total benefit that's paid, whether they need more or less, okay? So here is question. So Elle was recently released from the hospital, okay? She was advised she can put a claim under her long-term care policy. Which of the following will qualify her as a candidate for long-term care? A, she was discharged with a wheelchair. Or B, she suffered a stroke and needs help getting dressed and eating. She needs to go to rehab once a week for her broken arm. Or D, she needs to have an appendix surgery.
B.
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 as in boy.
Yes, and boy, awesome. I know we have an A class. Awesome. All right, other plans that is also covered in the health plan portion. We have dental, vision, cancer policies, critical illness, worksite, short-term medical, and accidental plans, okay? So of course, we all know that for dental plans, it's only covered for like dental insurance, right? Nothing else, vision, for vision insurance, right? Cancer policy, that's also only for diagnosis and treatment, right? Critical illness, that's for heart attack, strokes. Work side, that's only covers through like work injuries, right? That's something that you can buy through your employers. Short-term medicals, that's usually on a monthly, like 30 days to a year. So very, like it says, short-term, right? And then we covered earlier the accidental pledge, right? So now, as you guys can see, give me 1 second. Let me reshare. I can't see you guys. Can you guys still see my slides?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, good. So I can't see you guys. Okay. All right, so now policy provisions. So first things first, what are some policy provisions that you will need to understand for the exam? Okay, so first part is from the first 7 days to the from first 7 days to the 31 days, we have something called the premium grace period. Okay, so for that first 31 days, you have when you first submit the claim, okay, that's during the grace period. So the first 15 days, you have the claim forms, and then the day 20, then that's when the notice goes. Day 45, if you lapse or if you stop paying for the premium, that's the time that usually you have that day to reinstate. So we have something called a reinstatement. Okay. And then from day 60 on till 3 years, that's something called a legal action that can be taken. From 90 days to 1 year, proof of loss. Usually for contestability, that's the 2-year mark. So that's why we have this timeline that's for easier to remember. You guys can kind of take like a mental picture. It will be easy for you to remember all the dates and the time that can be tested on the exam. 31 days, grace period, contestability, 2 years, reinstatement, 45 days, change of beneficiary, lifetime of the policy, right? Notes for your, like the claims to be paid, right? Claims are paid to the doctors, right? To the facility beneficiary or to the injured, right? Immediately after your proof of loss, okay? Claims are paid with periodic payments and elimination periods for your disability and long-term care payments, okay? Physical examination and autopsy may be performed if it relates to the claim. Okay, so sometimes the insurance companies, right, they will require some type of autopsy to be performed in order for the claims to be paid out, right? So they have that 2-year mark, right, if they want to do some type of investigating, right? So those are the dates that they can, right, request, right? So like I said, most common dates or numbers, 31 days, 60 days, 1 year, 2 years for incontestability, right? 45 days for reinstatement, okay? Now provision, okay? Or require mandatory provisions in an individual disability policy except all are required. So all of this are required mandatory provisions.
Presumptive disability.
It's A.
A.
A, le apple.
Yay! We really have an A+ class today. Awesome. You guys took this class already, huh? So this is just a review for you guys. Okay. Now we have government plans. So next is just on Medicare plans. So Medicare, we have Medicare and Medicaid. So Medicare, this is also on the test. Medicare is your health insurance after age 65 that is provided by the federal government. Medicaid, okay, is for a certain group of individual based on your income requirements. So most of the time it's for low income families or qualified pregnant women, kids, right? Those that usually need certain type of requirements that needs to be met before you can have those benefits, right? Qualifications varies by states. Here in California, the name is called Medi-Cal, right? In Massachusetts, it's called Mass Health, right? And then we also have Medicare Supplement, or called Medigap, right? It's the insurance to cover the out-of-pocket costs that are not covered by Medicare, okay? So question, which of the following medical expenses does Medicaid cover for individual families and children with limited income and resources?
That's D. David.
D.
Medicaid does cover for all. Okay. Now, who is eligible for Medicare? So Medicare, like I said, right, it's for 65 and older. You're legally entitled to receive Social Security benefit. Or if you are under 65 who is receiving Social Security disability benefit for more than 24 months, or if you have end-stage or end-stage chronic renal kidney disease that requires dialysis or transplant, then you are eligible for Medicare. Okay. But you must be U.S. citizen or permanent resident of 5 years, or right, or you must be like I said, if you're receiving the Social Security benefits. Okay, so parts of Medicare, right? You have Part A, Part B, and Part D. So Part A, that helps pay for your hospital visit, inpatient care, and it's free for most people. Part B, that pays for doctor visit, outpatient care, and is not free. Standard monthly premium is about $164 or higher depending on your income. That's 2023 premium. Okay, and Part D is for prescription drugs. Okay. So Part A and Part B is known for Original Medicare, provided by the federal government. And Part D, you have to buy through a provider. Okay? Now, when you're applying for Medicare, you need to know when to apply. Otherwise, you will be charged for late enrollment. Okay? So the initial enrollment period for Medicare, you actually have total of 7 months. So it's 3 months before and 3 months after your 65th birthday. Okay, so let's say if your birthday is in July, so 3 months before, so starting in April and then all the way till October, then that's your enrollment period. Okay, so let's say today, if your birthday is in May, okay, what is your enrollment period?
February. May. No, February.
D.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Uh-oh.
C. February to August.
Yes. So if my birthday is in May, then 3 months before, 3 months after, right? So from February all the way to August, that would be my enrollment period. Okay? So other enrollment periods might be available, okay, if you're not able to apply, okay? But let's not wait to find out. Okay, so if you know it's coming up, just pay more closer attention. Okay, and you should get a notice as well. Okay, so unfortunately, Medicare does not cover for everything. Right, you'll actually be surprised what is not covered, even though you think that it should be. Right, so here are some things that that is and is not covered. So what do we think? Yearly wellness visit, is it covered?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Who says no?
Yes,
Yes, it is.
it is covered.
Yes.
Just like our you get once a year primary care doctor visit, right? That's recommended. Yearly visit. Okay. I know
Right.
we don't really like to go see our doctor. I don't, even though right now I work in healthcare. I hear my patient saying too, every time when they come see me, they're like, now Ariel, what are you gonna tell me? My blood pressure, high blood sugar. I don't like to go see my doctor either. But it's recommended once a year, okay? Get your wellness check. Dental, okay? Most dental care, routine visit, cleaning. Is it covered?
No.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
It depends on the company. Oh, no, you're right. It's not covered.
No, not covered.
Most dental care,
No.
not
That's
all.
why we have dental insurance.
Right.
Yes, right. That's why I say right now we're just purely talking about Medicare, right? So think about just regular health insurance, right? So just like regular health insurance, dental is not covered either, right? That's why we have separate dental insurance, right? So same thing with eye exam. Eye exam related to prescribing glasses.
No.
No.
No, it's not covered.
Exactly. What about cardiovascular disease screening?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes. Yes.
So this one, it is actually covered. Why?
So you see a doctor.
See a doctor.
Is this a screening?
Because it's a screening, and if you guys think about it, Medicare is for people that are
65 years over.
yes.
Yeah.
So they're more towards like older people, so more likely to get
Cardiovascular diseases.
exactly. So that's why they say yes, it's covered. What
And most of those
about
take
hearing?
place in the hospital anyway.
Yes.
Mhm.
What about hearing
Most of those
and
screenings.
exam?
No.
No.
No, it's not covered.
Yeah.
No.
Physical therapy.
Yes.
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 Right. Again, same thing towards seniors. We need a little bit more help, right? What about
Right.
long-term care?
No.
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 Yeah, this one we should know, right? Yes. What about most chiropractic service?
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Those are considered selective service.
Mm.
So no, Medicare does not cover. Okay.
Oh.
What about medical overseas?
No.
No.
We wish, right?
Yeah, right.
I don't think our government is that friendly, right? So those are the things that Medicare will and will not cover. Okay, so at least a basic wellness visit, right? Cardiovascular screenings and physical therapies, those are some of the basic services that we know Medicare will cover, right? But on the test, they're not going to go into that detail, but just some things that to remember, okay? But here is something that on the test they will ask, okay? After you enroll in the original Medicare Part A and B, the two additional coverage that people can think about is the Medicare Advantage or Medicare Supplement. Okay, of course, the cost will depend, right? Varies. and varies on the coverage and the plan that you choose. So Medicare Advantage, also known as Part C, which combines both A, the hospital inpatient, and Part B, the medical into one plan. And it usually also includes the Part D, which is the.
Oh, I have it here. Thank
Okay.
you. I'll sign it. Yeah,
So,
I'll do it.
So let me, okay. All right, so Medicare supplement. So in general, after your Part B deductible is met, you're only responsible for 20% of the Medicare approved amount, okay? So let's say for $100 medical expense, $20 is not that bad, right? But we know going to the hospital is not just $100, right? It's never that cheap, right? So if you have a hospital bill, are you going to pay with your credit card, retirement fund, or is your kid your piggy bank? Right? I have a 9-year-old right now. I don't think he's gonna be my piggy bank yet, right? So who will be helping you paying that expense, right? So that's why we also have something called the Medicare supplement. Okay, it's the insurance plan that will help cover the out-of-pocket costs that original Medicare that does not cover. Okay, the deductible, copay, co-insurance, and if, knock on wood, something happens when you're traveling outside of US, right, that's something that some of the plans can also help cover. Okay, we have the original Medicare, and then something that we can buy the Medicare supplement to help cover the difference. Okay. So here's the fill in the gap, okay? 10 standardized plan in Medicare supplement plans with these core benefits. Part A in terms of Medicare plans covers what?
Basic A and B.
Part A, hospital what? And hospital costs after day 6.
Consulant,
Hospital visits.
the Part A consulant.
Oh, co-insurance.
Inpatient care.
Okay, and then Part A, hospice, is the co-insurance amount. Okay. Pays the insured in terms of co-insured Medicare approved amount. So after Medicare approved, patient is only responsible for
20%.
20%.
okay. So this I don't think we went over, but Medicare only pays for 3 pints of blood. Okay. All right. So with all of that, last part, here are just some test taking tips. Okay. So all of you guys should already sign up for the online study, right? You guys are going through your
Yes, Tiffany.
right, the study.
Yes.
Hindi kan.
Right. So make sure that you guys have at
Ủa,
least
chị
an
nói em từ sáng giờ
80%,
chị rút vừa rồi mà.
right? So make sure you have at least 80% on your practice exam. Go through all the question, right? Make sure that's something that I always remember when I was going through my when I was studying for my pre-license my license. I hated the question when it says the all true except, right? The except the double negatives. So just make sure that you guys read it very carefully. And yeah, make sure we're on Thursday right now. So Sunday we have the cram course, right? So Sunday, that's the part where we will go through all the questions and answers to help you guys be more familiar in terms of how to answer all the questions, what's on the actual test, different types of questions that will be on the test, how to answer them, those type of things. And I know earlier there were some questions on some of the slides. If you guys have any questions right now, I know we still have a little bit of time. So if you guys feel free. I know different states have different requirements. I know here in California, like Tu said earlier, we're lucky we only need 60% to pass. So I know most states is 70. And then so yeah, make sure just follow up with your trainer. Okay, have them sign you guys up. I think the one on Sundays definitely help to go over the cram course in terms of the question. That one will really help you guys to know what kind of test question will be on the actual state exam. And for me, how I studied my license test is I kind of just went through all the practice tests on our team. We used the Exam FX here in California. We used that. I just went through all the online the study questions. Went through it, pretty much went through all the questions and just memorized the answer. And yeah, if you guys do you guys have any questions on this? I know some of you had some of the questions on the slides earlier.
I can't log in. I'm having problems logging in. This is Nancy Mosley. I think you tried to help me. Remember?
Okay.
I think you tried to help me, but I still can't get into the WFG and the other one. Neither one of them.
To log into like your own study account?
Yeah. My own. I can't get to it, so I can't get to the workshops. Yes.
Oh yeah. Then yeah, just definitely connect with your trainer, see if they can help you log into your account.
Okay, I will.
I just have a question about the receipt slide. I didn't really understand it. About the basic.
Here, let me. Are we talking about the deductibles?
It was like the receipts, the hospital receipts, and then like it was showing. I think it was just like scenario 1, scenario 2.
Scenarios.
Like, are you talking about this one?
No, it was when the guy was doing it, like right before he left.
About the first set, the first guy.
Like this one?
There you go, that one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so basically here, so it's like a case study, right? How different types of expense. So first things first. So this is scenario 1, right? So basically Jack here, he makes a claim for his appendectomy, right, of $30,000. And he stayed 2 days in the hospital. So the hospital stay is $200 per day. And he has a deductible of $1,000. Right, the surgery, I don't know if if I zoom in, can you guys see it being zoomed?
It's good.
Okay, so basically the surgery it cost him $1,000, right? Co-insurance is 80-20. So basically insurance pays 80%, he pays 20%. Stop loss limits is 20,000. And then you guys see the plan breakdown, right? Doctor visit, he pays $25 in terms of copay. So first receipt here, the total bill of $30,000. Hospital stay, because every day that he stayed, it cost him $200, and he stayed for 2 days, right? So the total hospital stays is $400, right? And then the surgery cost him $1,000. Doctor visit is $25. And then the policy paid out to him is $1,425. Mm-hmm. So total out-of-pocket cost is $30,000 because he hasn't technically satisfy anything in terms of, like, he hasn't paid anything yet, right? So now, in terms of the major medical receipt, now we're looking at the right-hand side, the major medical. So total bill of $30,000, deductible of $1,000, 20% of co-insurance is $5,800. Insurance paid $23,200 because of the 80%. Right, 80% of 30,000 is 23,200. So total out-of-pocket cost is 6,800. Right. So now the total cost for Jack after everything is the major medical bill of $6,800 minus what the policy paid to him of $1,425. So now he actually just need to pay the $5,375. Does that make more sense?
Yes, I get it now. I thought it was like 3 different receipts for like 3 different things, but I get it. Like the basic plan is like our regular insurance. Then the major medical would be like that added on. And then the comprehensive receipt is everything together.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ariel.
Yeah, I know. Earlier, it was kind of like, how come there's like 3 different things going on all at the same time? Yeah, but it's kind of like, okay, this is what, because it on the test is not going to give you that detail, but it will just test you the concept of deductible, co-insurance, and co-payment. So really the thing is 80-20 rule. After insurance, the patient is responsible for how much, or like the co-payment is what. Like that's really, they're just testing you the concept, but it's not going to really be that detailed.
But still good to know. Thank you for slowing it down.
No problem. Alrighty. Well, if anyone else have any question? Well, good. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Thank you guys. Hope to see you guys on the course.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Good night.